Yeah, the shining golden signs. Let your inner sparking night. Fat treasure, growing bright.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Kamen Spike, back again once again. And today, people, today we're here for No.1 Sentai Gozyuger, episode 36. And this is our ending of our two-part episode for Kinjiro. And I did love seeing Kinjiro get the shine that he gracefully deserves in this episode. And the number one card, No.1, was a pretty interesting type of number one battle. We had like a montage of them in this card game playing Old Maid, and every time they got a pair, they had to do a win condition, and if they failed that win condition, then they were immediately captured by number one card No.1. And we see that Fire Candle is also heavily like in this episode as well, and we see that Kinjiro and Genjiro are basically, we see like a little bit of their backstory, how they used to play baseball and stuff together. And I did like their friendship was sort of like fixed or like reunited with each other in this episode. And they also brought back the whole like condition with Kinjiro, where he had to eat like boiled eggs in order to stay young. And I never really understood that, but in order for him to stay young, he has to like eat like these boiled eggs. And we got to see old man Kinjiro back in this episode as well. This big old 87-year-old man doing this 5-minute pop star dance for 5 minutes and 5.5 minutes. And all these win conditions were like really like funny. We didn't get to see all of them because it was sort of more like a montage, because we see everybody kind of get captured one by one. But yeah, and we see that Kinjiro ends up, being the last one standing when it comes down to taking down card No.1. And he's an old man again because he kind of runs out of his egg energy. And we see that Genji, he ends up like using Dairanger's powers and turning himself into a card and like slipping through out of the casino, because when they first got there, they weren't allowed to leave that place. They weren't allowed to leave, and if they tried to leave, they would get electrocuted and stuff like that. And he's able to get out of there. He hops on a bike, and then he ends up going all the way back to the cafe, getting some boiled eggs, and then coming back to Kinjiro and giving him those eggs so he's able to turn back to his younger self. And with him back turning into his younger self, he's able to go bat to bat with card No.1, and he's able to like win the game of Old Maid and stuff like that. I never played Old Maid. I played a many card games in my life, but I've never played Old Maid. I never really understood how it works. I mean, every time they got a pair, which is basically two of the same number, and I guess it doesn't matter what the symbol is as long as it was like two of the same number. And I don't think the color mattered as well. If you play Old Maid, explain it to me down there in the comment section below. And if you made it this far into the video, I surely do appreciate it. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, all that good jazz. I'm a cool guy. I'm not controversial at all. I'm just a cool guy with a deep voice that talks about tokusatsu. And yeah, that's me. But and I occasionally stream and stuff like that. You should come to my streams and stuff. They're really fun. But yeah, we finally got to see Kinjiro end up using Ryu Tegasword form, and it looks pretty good on him. The gold kind of like really complements the green, like it really does complement the green and stuff like that when he's wearing it. And yeah, he ends up using, and we know that his favorite ranger forms to use, I was gonna say rider forms, but his favorite ranger forms to use is Kiraja. And because they're the samba dancing and stuff like that, and we know that Kinjiro is a man of the party, people. He's a man, he like the party, stuff like that. So he's able to like use that power inside of the Ryu Tegasword. And yeah, overall end up defeating number one card monster. And we see a Fire Candle gets pissed, and we see him get into his mech again, but turns out number one car monster isn't dead. The bro actually uses the last of his strength in his body to basically fuse together with Fire Candle's mech, and you see that Fire Candle ends up going on this big rampage, and he's setting everything on fire and stuff like that. Hence the name Fire Candle, and that's when Hodu suits up into our new mech, and this is the first time we see this mech actually get pushed back. Had its swords broken in this episode, thanks to the massive power up that Fire Candle got after fusing with the monster of the week. And what was really cool, we got to see another one where the rest of the Gozyuger, with the exception of Polar, they ended up getting to walk up in their mechs. I'm like, okay, everybody's walking in their own perspective mech, but who in the world is piloting Goju Wolf? It's Tegasword. It is. He's basically, like, all the mecha are just him using their like animals as like armor. So I get it of why the red was there, because when he's using Ryu Tegasword or the Ryu Tegasword mecha, he's not in his wolf mech. So yeah, he's in a whole separate mech, which is like actually pretty cool. So now that we have everybody basically walks up, everybody fuses together with Ryu Tegasword, and it was like Ryu Tegasword all colors or something like that, and everybody's actually able to pilot the freaking Ultra Zord that we just got. And they didn't really do it, they just kind of like revitalized his swords, and then like did a giant Getsuga Tensho, which ended up destroying Fire Candle's mech, and he ends up porting out of there. We don't see anybody else in this episode. We don't see Bouquet, we don't see Kuon, we don't see Tegajun herself. She's most likely still resting up from what happened to her. But other than that, we ended up defeating Fire Candle, and we see that Kinjiro and Joji end up reconciling with each other. And he talks about how like I wanted to be young for like the wrong reasons and stuff like that, and he decided that I'm just gonna be old, and he passes on the Dairanger Red Ring over to Kinjiro, and I hope he uses it soon. I really would like to see what Dairanger looks like with the Gozyuger armor and stuff like that. I would really like to see that. But other than that, yeah, there's not much to say about this episode. Wasn't really any like super mega heavy plot stuff. It still felt kind of fillery, but everybody's getting their shine and stuff like that. And I think the only person that hasn't used Ryu Tegasword is Sumino and Ryuki, and I'm ready. Well, Ryugi. And I'm ready to see what those stories are going to be when it comes down to them using Ryu Tegasword. And I'm pretty sure after everyone has had a chance to use Ryu Tegasword, that's when we're going to start to really get into the end game. Now that everybody's had a taste of that power, well, as of right now, everyone hasn't had a taste of that power, but when they do, I do feel like that is what's gonna kickstart, all the calamity stuff and stuff like that. So we're gonna start getting a lot more lore heavy types of stuff, more darker tones, stuff like that. But yeah, man, this episode was great. I love Kinshiro. I love him as a character, and I'm really glad to see he got his shine in this episode, which is really dope, and showing how how smart and stuff that he is. I mean, he's been doing that the whole freaking series, but at the same time, like, now he's getting listened to. But man, this was a phenomenal. I want to say phenomenal, but it was a solid episode. I thoroughly did enjoy this episode. But other than that, I'm going to see you guys next time. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and if you made it this far in the video, like I said earlier, thank you so much. The channel has really been growing lately, and I thoroughly do appreciate it. So yeah, I'm gonna see you guys next time. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and as I always say, stay henshin.